Good evening, everybody. This is Dr. Mulder, and today I have two fantastic guys here as guests. The first one goes by the name of Algo Cowboy, and the second one is a good friend of mine that I've done a lot of shows with on his show Scarycast on Facebook. And anyways, Dr. John Stamey. How are you two gentlemen doing this fine day?
Stellar.
Oh,
I'm
excellent.
doing I'm doing great. Really kind of excited to be here. This is Dr. John.
Yes. I tell you, before we came on the air, we were talking, and I think Cowboy came up with a fantastic idea. Because here's what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, I love crypto, I love trading, and that kind of a thing. And it just so happens that Cowboy, is has this algorithm, and what I want to do. Dr. John is an actual computer scientist, and he is going to be starting from the ground up. In other words, from the beginning with this program that Cowboy and his wonderful group has put together. And what I want to do here is just kind of let these two gentlemen talk about okay, how do you get started with this algorithm? How do what do you do with it? And that kind of thing, and just basically just kind of go through the basics of this. And after this is going to be a two-part show because after Dr. John completes his training through Cowboys program at Algo Factory. Then he's going to come back, and then we're going to have a part two, and they're going to discuss, what they learned or what John learned, and how and how his journey started and how it ended. All right. And with that note, gentlemen, I'm going to leave it to you, and please, Cowboy, start.
Well, sure. What we can do is a little background. I was in the insurance business for, oh gosh, 15, 20 years if you count before I went to university, because I actually grew up in that business due to my father. And I went to university. I got an economics degree specializing in econometrics. So basically, like regression models, calculus-based statistics. Now, not that that applies incredibly to what I do for a living, but it certainly helps. There are a ton of people who are traders with a high school education. So I don't want to say, hey, I got this big fancy degree, and then everybody think, oh man, that I don't have that fancy degree, I can't trade. That's not true at all. But it did help me be able to kind of take the idea of trading and understand how to break it into bite-sized concepts that just about anybody can understand. So after leaving the insurance business, I got into cryptocurrency right at the right time. Well, I guess one of the right times, right? There's a lot of right times. So back in 2017, I got in there. No, I am not filthy rich. I didn't have a lot of money to start with, but I do have a living. And now I am teaching people how to build trading algorithms. Now, what I want to do is dispel a lot of the noise around the term algorithm. First thing I want to do is dispel a little bit of background noise. I think somebody has their mic not muted, so we're hearing everything going on at their place. So if somebody has a mic that's not muted, maybe we can mute that real quick.
Yeah, I think that's John.
Okay. Hopefully John heard us there. Okay, anyway, so look, an algorithm is just a methodology. Tying your shoes is an algorithm, right? You put this lace over that lace, and then you turn the thing here. Going to the store is an algorithm. You take a left here, you take it right there. It's whenever you have certain conditions line up, condition A lines up, you take action 1. Condition B lines up, you take action 2. That's an algorithm. So don't get too scared. It doesn't mean you have to have, Coke bottle glasses and be a big brain. Not that Dr. John has Coke bottle glasses, but you don't have to be a big brain like him and have computer science degree and none of that. Now, if you care to build a trading method, like any old trading method, you're building an algorithm. All right, the basic way of trading, it's all algorithms, whether you know it or not. Now, somebody like Dr. John, who has a comp sci degree, computer science degree, may be able to take that algorithm and turn it into code and basically take it to where it trades for him. He just lets it go, trades for him overnight, things like that. That's if you can get that done properly, it could be profitable. There's a little more to it than just simply turning it on and letting it go. It's not as simple as that. But what can happen is if you build an algorithm and it's successful and you're just trading it the old fashioned way, manually, and if you're able to be successful and generate income, then that income can be used to pay a coder to code that for you. And then you can make your way into one of those people that turns it on and walks away. Like I said, it's not exactly that simple, but that's the goal for a lot of people, is to be able to have it make money while you sleep. So we help people get on the path to be able to do that. And that's over at www.algofactory.tech. And I imagine that Dr. Mulder here will have a link to that in the description. So if you go click on that, you'll be able to get on there through Dr. Mulder's link. So that's what I do. I sit in front of the computer for several hours a day, and I look at squiggly lines, and I trade imaginary internet money. I do a lot of crypto. I trade primarily Forex, but I also I won a Bitcoin trade this morning, a nice one. Right as it was about to go up again, I caught that move up, and I was in and out in about an hour. In fact, it happened live on my Algo Factory show this morning. So if you were over at my Algo Factory's YouTube channel, then you watched today's live show, you may be able to see that happen. So at any rate, I think that's a good introduction. So, if you have any questions, I can answer them, or we can learn about who Dr. John is.
John, are you there?
Might be muted still.
Oh, well, John, hello.
I can see him. He's there. He's with us.
He's here. I guess he's not. He's still muted. Can't hear you, John. Oh, well. Maybe I should call him.
Yeah, that's all right. I bet you he'll catch on in a minute. Maybe fire him off a text or something, and you and I can talk.
I'm about to do it right now. Let's see here. Hang on a second. Come on, buddy. Hello.
Yeah, I sent a message on the Skype here.
Yeah. Oh well.
No, well.
Well.
I'm sure he'll be back with us. He's got a. I'm sure he might be in a situation where the phone's not working right. He might be. He might have some bad connection or something.
Yeah, you never can tell. But and here's the thing. Cowboy. Oh, here he comes. Hey, we're trying to talk to you. What's going on? Hello.
I hear noises.
Yeah.
It sounds like somebody walked into a 7-Eleven.
What's going on?
I think John's having technical problems.
Are you? Is your mute off or on? Okay. All right. Let me. Okay. Let me see what I can do here on my end. All right, John. All right. I'll call you right back. Bye. Apparently he's got some technical problems here. I'm going to see what I can do on my end. But in the meantime here, it's just I really this algo thing fascinates me. I had these dreams of that I would have an automatic algo that would do my trading for me. In other words, it would find the sweet spot, or like where something's going to, where it comes to either buy or sell something, and it would automatically do this. In other words, it'll go to my exchange and, click the right buttons and make that happen. Have we reached that point yet?
Oh, I've already done it.
Oh, okay. So basically, you can, while you're away from your computer, not only will the algo find the perfect trade under the the parameters that you've given it, it will also execute that trade.
So basically what I've done is I have built an algorithm that you'd normally do on TradingView, which is done through PineScript, but I don't need to know how to code. It's all done, just basically through, as you would normally do, as anybody would do, through indicators up on the screen, and then you figure it out. Anybody who's trading knows what I'm talking about. And if you haven't traded, it's something that's relatively easy to learn. And we teach it all from the ground up at Algo Factory, right? You go, there's a whole bunch of classes. If you really wanted to, you could get through them in a day or two, but most people take a few weeks. And it's all, go at your own pace, and it's available whenever you want it. And we also have live shows every single day. And long story short, what we do is once that algorithm is built, as I described it, right? Indicators on the screen and all that. Now, what I do is I have a way of choosing indicators where it's either just a really well-known indicator, so the source code for that is available, right? So the actual computer code for that indicator, which is all based on mathematics, I know that it's available for my use, okay? Now, what I can do with that is I make sure that now I can manipulate it a little bit. I can change some settings, and that's not done through the code. That's just done the basic way that anybody can do. It's a very easy thing to do.
Right.
And then once I have it tested backwards, I go back through time. The charts go back, however long you want them to. Most of the time, you could pay a little bit more money and get data way back when, but for the most part, you won't have an issue like that on TradingView, which is the software we use. You could go back through time and you could do mock testing. Excuse me. It's called back testing, right? It's like mock testing that you could just run a hypothetical situation. So look at it candle by candle. And as you do that, your algorithmic conditions will line up, and then you will take a pretend trade basically, and then you will measure how that trade went. And you will be able to do that ideally a couple hundred times. I know it sounds like a lot, but you get them done 5-10 minutes each. Might take you. It depends on how complex your method is. I had a pretty complex method at one point. It took me quite a few weeks to get through it. Now, once you've done that, you have developed a statistical understanding of the probability of success. So you know that your algorithm is going to be successful 68% of the time, and you know that your risk to reward is going to be, say, 1.3 to 1 or something that's better than 1 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
And that means you could lose, basically you could win less than, let's just say 65% of your trades you'll win, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you do, you know that you're going to make $130 for every 100 that you put in. It's an average now. Sometimes you'll risk $100 and you make $250. Sometimes you risk $100 and lose it all. But on the average, you know that you're going to make a certain amount of money. It's called expectancy.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have that data. Now you know that every time you click that button, wins, losses, everything combined, you know that you're going to make an average of about $130, right? If you're risking 100, or if you're risking 1,000, then you're going to make 1,300 on average. All right. So now what you do is you live test. So you test forward. Now, not with your whole. If you're comfortable risking $100 a trade, then maybe you risk 10, right? Or none. You could do what's called demo trading, fake trading, right? And you just go forward in time as if you're really trading, but you're not risking any money or very little. And then you're going to get the real data. And instead of 130, it's probably going to be like 120, because the back testing is always a little bit friendlier. And then once you have live tested a certain amount of times, you can start increasing the amount of money that you're putting in. And then before you know it, you're risking $100 a trade if that's what you're comfortable with. And then you're, on average making probably $120. Now you'll lose it all sometimes, make $250 the other time. We put it all together, you'll be in profit. And you're going to have an idea of what that's going to look like because you did all of your testing. Now, there's more to it than just that. There's money management. There's a lot of things. But one clear thing that we do have to make clear over at Algo Factory is we do not give investment advice. Okay, so we give you the nuts and bolts of trading. And then once you determine your own methodology and you're doing your own research, then you are going to take your own trades. That's one clear thing we have to let you know about. But it is the scientific method applied to finance. That's all it is.
Right.
Nothing more.
Yeah, and that's what I love about this. I mean, you brought this down to a science. I mean, you are actually looking at this very pragmatically. And again, when I say this, I mean you're trying to take as much emotion out of it as possible. You're not trying to go with the latest psychic reading or what your gut feeling is saying or whatever. You're looking at it in black and white. What do the numbers say? What are the trends? What is past experience? Whether you have these parameters or these conditions, what is the reaction of the market? And I love the way you're doing this thing. I really do, because this is the future. I mean, this is it's not really the future. I think the big guys have been doing this for years. You just basically came up with a way for the average man to do what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're breaking it down to bite-sized pieces, and we're doing it in a way that people can understand. And part of the reason that this is now available is because the technology has been made available to the public. It's only for so long that this has been possible. It was pretty much possible when I started, but it's been 2016 so it's been 6 or 7 years I've been doing this, and the tech's gotten even better. And then once you get to a certain level, we know the software that you have to use to tie it into your exchange, and I have that all. Now I don't do that. That's something you got to do or pay somebody to do. But we know which software, we know what some of the problems are. We can kind of guide you down that path.
Right. And I tell you, I found out about you through V on Rogue News, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to shift gears here a little bit because I want to give
Sure.
V props because a long time ago, I think it was probably around 2016, he did a show. I think it was on a channel on the web here. I think it was like a Freedom Radio or something. Anyway, Freedom Slips or something along that line. He had Cliff High on the air. And Cliff High, I was mesmerized with that interview. I must have listened to that interview that V did with Cliff High for almost at least 10 or 15 times. I mean, really, it was that intriguing. And that's what turned me on to Cliff High. And as a result of that, that's what turned me on to Bitcoin. And because of what V did, that changed my life forever, Cowboy. I mean, I've listened to V for years, and the things that he's done has been, the people he's introduced, has just been fantastic. And it's because of V that I found out about you. Back in the, I think it was like you said, around 2017, 2018. And when I started looking at this stuff and looking at trading, I realized the opportunities there were immeasurable. And I'm not going to, let's just say that I've walked in a couple of things here that have all, that have kept me going. It's like playing golf and making that perfect shot. You're about ready to give up, and then you hit, you swing, and you just make like a perfect shot, like a hole in one. And it's that perfect shot that keeps you going. And I've had a few of them. I've had like where I actually hit it, through some information that I may have picked up, or just a casual conversation or what have you. And what this done is just, it gave me opportunities that I never would have had anywhere else. And so this stuff, crypto, has changed my life forever. And because of V, because of what he's done, and bringing people like yourself into the mix here, and what you guys did, you formed a team, and the things that you're doing here, what you're proposing, what you're giving to people. I mean, basically, the price that you're charging, my friend, is dirt cheap. Number one. I mean, do you mind telling people how much you charge per month right now?
No, of course not. We charge $49.99 a month for our basic tier of service. We're going to add a few things that will cost extra. For example, my algos that I have coded, we're going to make that available for. It's going to be a lot cheaper for Algo Factory customers. And for those who are not customers who just want access to the algorithms, they'll have a different price. But for $49.99 for the basics, where you can just, the whole thing right now, there's only one price for the entire thing. That's $49.99. That's it. There's no upper tier. There's no lower tier. Now, once we have a certain amount of members, that's going to at least double. Our competition, who offers less than we do, is charging $300 a month, and they are getting it. So, so yeah, that's where it's at. Now, anybody who works with us before we raise that price, which we expect to do before the end of the year, and it's based on getting a certain amount of people. So it's kind of it's not like we're going to do it on December the XYZ. It's just that we expect to cross a certain threshold of members, and when we do, that price is going to at least double. Now, if you do get in there, then what'll happen is you will be able to keep that. It'll be grandfathered in. Okay. And once it's grandfathered in, then you're good to go. That's it. So you keep that $49.99 for as long as you do not let your membership lapse.
Right. And yeah, he's right. This is dirt cheap. This is dirt cheap for what they're doing here. Oh, there's Dr. John calling me. Hang on one second here, Cowboy. Sorry for that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Pardon me? Oh, okay. All right. Bye. Apparently he's restarting his phone. I already gave him an invite through his email, so he can get a hold or get back in anytime he wants, or when he can get everything straightened out on his end. But no, but anyway, yeah, this is just fantastic stuff. I have so many questions. I don't really know where to start here. Now, here, last week I had this gut feeling that Bitcoin was going to hit almost 40K, and I even put that on there, for you to say, hey, the algorithm for what's your algo showing 7 days from now, and the Bitcoin did trend upward. It did. I think it got a, what did it peak up, or what did it top at before it dropped back down? 38,000 or something?
Just below, yeah.
Just below. Okay. I mean, at least I had the trend right. I didn't know, I was off by where I thought, it would break at, but at least I had the trend of an upward trend. And so now I know I'm putting you on the spot here. Do you remember what your algo showed at this time 7 days ago?
I mean, you sent me a message on what was it? Our private.
Yeah, yeah. I
Let's
think
see
it was
here.
last Thursday. Yeah. I'm just curious.
Well, I can look up the message.
Sure.
Let's see here. Okay. See that? All right. Let's see that one. 811. No, that's too far. Let's look at. Did you send it? No. Let's see.
I sent it. I sent it on Telegram.
In the main. Okay, here it is. Let's see what I said. I think I might have answered it. I don't know if I answered it on live.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I did. I covered it during the live show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So now the thing is that there's, and this might be outside of algos. But with Bitcoin, there's a kind of a long story short. 38,000 is the number to break. If it could go above 38,000, then and that's in general. It usually has a chance of continuing after that.
Right.
So the fact that it should knock its head on, like, literally, I have the price, the actual price right in front of me here. Let me tell you where it went. 37,975. So you're about $25 short of 38,000.
Mm-hmm.
Now it could have gotten, just above 38, but long story short, it has not pierced. It's back down to 36. And that's a pretty big move to happen in a short time.
Right.
So, to break above, that's not likely. And on top of that, there's not a lot of liquidity. There is some liquidity just above 40,000, and there's always that chance that price could sweep up there to grab that liquidity. But most of the liquidity is down in the 20,000 range. And
Right.
there's a lot of people who think that, the ETF kind of rumblings out there are going to cause, money to come into the space. And my understanding is that, let's just say some money came into the space. Now, anything can happen, and this year could be different, but the 4-year cycle has so far held, and generally it's not time for things to really head up to the moon just yet. Not usually. Now, look, there's only 3 halvings that we can sample. We don't have a large sample size. So it doesn't mean that because it happened this way the last 3 times, that the 4th time is going to happen in, the same way. It always could be different. But in the world of finance, the term "this time could be different" are usually famous last words. So, to go with the probabilities, I'd say that we probably saw the top this morning, and we're going to start to see the decline. But to look at the actual algo that I use, the high time frame is always bullish because it's crypto. But the kind of high time frame is still bullish. There's still bullish energy yet left. But it might be that there needs to take a breather for the next few months, and then we'll see that happen. And it might not. It might continue upwards. But right now, at least in the short term, I'm not expecting it to pop up. It could be next week. It could be next month. But more than likely, unless something changes this cycle, I'm expecting Bitcoin to calm down and maybe go as low. The lowest, absolute lowest, I would expect it to go to be 15,000, and that would be because of some kind of weird market event. But I think reasonably to go to the low 20s, 22, 23,000, and then it'll hang out down there and head up. But again, with a lot of the ETF rumblings and a lot of things that are going on, it might not make it down there. It might only retrace a little bit and then come back up. And by the way, the entire world of finance is a very strange place right now. There's a lot of just unexpected, not hard to understand things happening.
Yeah. Well, I'm hearing a lot about, some of the major banks in this country are having some serious financial issues. I mean, we're talking tens, if not hundreds of billions of dollars worth of
Hmm.
serious financial issues. I don't know if you're hearing the same rumblings I'm hearing.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
that's happening. Yeah, absolutely.
okay, yeah. So I wonder, and I kind of wonder if the average guy, which I'm just the average guy. I'm just Joe Blow who just happens to have a be fond of crypto because I love the technology behind it. Okay,
Hmm.
and I'm looking at this thing and I see, I just feel the energy of it. I mean, I know there's nothing scientific here. I can't put a number to this, but I just get this energy, this weird energy that we're about ready to see something serious in the financial, when it comes to the U.S. dollar, compared to other currencies. I mean, are you picking up on this yourself? I'm just curious. I mean, I know it's just an opinion. It's nothing, I'm just wondering.
No, everything's fine. I'm just kidding. No, there's the landscape is changing. The geopolitical landscape is changing, which is it's kind of hand in hand. Politics is actually downstream from economics, so usually everything starts with economics. I can put it to you this way: the way that the whole world has made money for the last 100 years, maybe 80 years, has been on the U.S. dollar, right? Reserve currency. There's a whole system. You know, without getting into too much detail, after World War II, basically everybody agreed to use the dollar, and all the countries out there manufactured things. The United States bought them in a big way, and then the profits that were made because of those purchases were reinvested into the U.S. market. And that's kind of a basic model of the way that the markets worked for the past since World War II, basically.
Hmm.
Well, there are things are changing, and I mean, some are saying that it's just run its course. It could be the way the system is made. It could be a lot of things feed together, right? It could be decisions that are being made by the leadership of certain countries. I don't want to get into all that, but I will say that the way that everybody used to make money is drying up. Now, the way the world works is you usually have a small group of people at the top, called an oligopoly, and then you have everybody else, different tiers, but basically everybody else. And that small group of people was more or less able to make money together. Okay.
Hmm.
And that being the case, when everybody's water hole dries up, people start fighting each other over the same water. So all these kind of groups of people who used to operate together in relative peace, now you're going to start trying to steal from each other. So you have very powerful people who are going to start fighting. They're already fighting. And
Hmm.
guys like us, it's our job to just stay out of the way.
Yeah. I mean, I knew something was wrong here because back in, I think it was like November 2022, I think the Mexican peso was maybe just a little bit more than a nickel, compared to the US dollar. I think you get about 19 plus pesos for a dollar. And this is back in November 2022. All right, I go down to Mexico myself. I think it was like around 19. And about a month ago, I haven't checked lately, but about a month ago, I think it was 16 pesos to a dollar. In other words, between November of 2022 and about a month, maybe 2 months ago, the U.S. dollar had dropped what maybe 20-25% in value compared to the Mexican peso. Um, that right there was a big red flag for me. I don't know. It hit me right between the eyes. Something's going on here, and it's not good.
Well, it is what it is. Finance isn't really a world of good and bad. Finance is a world of profitable and not profitable. So, and what will happen is, the world, morality applies to the world, certainly. And in finance, there is a level of morality. I'm not saying finance is completely amoral. What I am saying, though, is that when you look at the way finance works, um, you can either be profitable or not. Now, how does somebody like the regular Joe Blow become profitable when all the market is crashing?
Hmm.
Right. Well, I know, one way to do this is to short stocks. However, it has happened in the past, and it just happened in Korea recently, like in 2 days ago. They might not let you short stocks. So
Hmm.
shorting is a way, just for anybody who's new to trading, shorting is a way to make money on the way down. You borrow from somebody else at a given price, and then you basically you borrow a stock, at, you know, whatever the price was, and then you pay for that stock at a lower price, and then you keep the difference, right? That's how that works. And basically, if you buy one share of Amazon at $1,000 and it goes down to $800, then you end up with $200, right?
Okay.
Well, you could do that, but when things go bad, it's very likely if they go very bad, they're not going to allow you to do that, because that puts downward pressure on stocks, right? Essentially, you're taking a stock off the market to do that. You're selling a stock to do that effectively. So when you do that, they're not going to want that, because they want to try to keep everything a little more stable. But where can you short? Where can you go long? Well, I'll tell you what, cryptocurrency, you can short and go long. It can be a little bit messy when things get very violent, because cryptocurrency is a very unique market. Trying to trade it can be tricky because it's very directional, very jagged if you're looking at it. And jagged is hard to trade. And I'm starting to get into some terms that perhaps some of your traders don't understand. But crypto is not the easiest thing to trade right now. If you want to buy it and invest in it and hold it for years and stuff, that's another story. But if you're trying to do like me, where you're in and out of something in a few hours, crypto can be challenging to be able to do it in a predictable scientific manner, right? Now, if you're just some gambler and you see crypto number go up and you ride that up a little bit, that could be fun. Chances are over time, it's not going to work out for you. Okay. Most people that get into it that way never develop a system, and gambling in the long run, usually all the money goes back to the house. And the people who are running the house, it's just like a casino. They know what to do to get people who want to gamble to make wrong choices. Okay. So don't think you just, it's not very likely, not knowing anything, you could just go, hey, this is cool, and go make money. It happens, but generally there needs to be a system. So Forex is just like crypto. It's just sovereign currencies except for cryptocurrencies. And you can trade Forex on US regulated markets, and it works the exact same way as crypto. It's just a little bit more predictable. And it, by nature, going short, going long, it's all relative. There's no issues with that. So I don't even mess with stocks. And I used to play penny stocks a little bit because of the volatility. But I find that developing a Forex system or a crypto system, either way, that's probably, in my opinion, the more consistent way to make money. And if everything's falling apart, the whole world falling apart, and stocks are going down, and you cannot go short on stocks, you'll be able to go short or long on currencies. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you one thing. Let's just say you're looking for a way to make money when things are going bad. Well, I'm going to tell you, if you cannot trade anymore, if trading goes away, then not being able to trade is the least of your problems. Because if trading has gone away, that means our system has gotten so bad that we're basically all living in caves. I mean, I'm being a little bit hyperbolous, but not really.
No, Mad Max. Yeah, I get it. Mm-hmm.
We're getting there. Yeah, if trading goes away, if the financial system goes away, the kind of problems we're going to have are far worse than not being able to trade.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I totally agree with you. And, and I kind of poo-pooed this Forex thing until I started watching your videos and on Algo Factory. And I'm looking at this thing, and you're absolutely 100% correct. I have a personal bias, and my personal bias, as if I'm going to be a trader, my bias is a hindrance. I mean, I look at it as a roadblock or a speed bump in actually making money. And I'm biased toward crypto, but I'm looking at the Forex market, at currencies. I'm thinking that, hey, this guy's absolutely 100% correct. It's the same thing. It's just a different name.
And a little more predictable. I look at cryptocurrency as, obviously, like a lot of people do, as a hedge against this, a hedge against inflation. Look, in the short term, if the whole market goes down, crypto goes down, right? But over the long term, Bitcoin in particular, and some of the ones like it, have held up really well. Bitcoin has just done nothing but go up if you look at the long term. Okay, sure, yeah. Like 2020 COVID crash happened. It went from whatever it was, 10,000 down to 3,000, whatever the number was. And the whole market fell and crypto fell too. But if you've held crypto for since 2017, then you are thousands of percent ahead. In fact, I think you're 5,000% ahead, more or less. So the way that I look at that is, how do I say this? Forex or cryptocurrency trading on the short term, either whether it's Forex or crypto, it's kind of the same thing either way. Like I said, I made good money on a Bitcoin trade this morning. I was in and out within an hour. I mean, it's doable. You just have to know how to do it. That's like kind of bringing in money, maybe a few times a week, right? And then holding your crypto, for years in the future. Obviously, you don't really have access to that unless you want to sell it. But that's to me is more of an investment, like precious metals, right? Precious metals, crypto. Fortunately, with my precious metal stuff, it's not here in my house. I actually have a family vault that I have complete access to. So I don't have a whole ton of metals. I'm not, like I said, I'm not filthy rich, but the metals I have invested in are safely not in my house.
Right.
But the point here is that, crypto could be like that. You can vault your crypto, hold on to it. But there is that ability to develop a system where you can extract, say, whatever your number is, $100 a day on average, or maybe 100 a week, or a few hundred a week, or, a few thousand a month, or a few hundred a month, whatever it is. And you can't exactly plan what it's going to be because the market provides what the market provides. But with the system, you can kind of estimate what it's going to be. And that's just a way to, and you can learn how to do this without having, I learned how to trade when I had a 12-hour-a-day job. Now, I was running union crews, one union crew at a construction site. That's a long story, but I was in alternative fuels. And so, at that point I had a lot going on, but my contract was about to end. And so I got into crypto trading. I got into crypto just as investment, but then I got into trading. And that's the beginning of my career. And out of necessity, I learned how to trade. And I had enough time. I had several months where I had the time, a couple hours a day to really get into it. I got a little bit obsessed, with trading. That's my nature is I get obsessed with things. And then I came up with the system, and the rest is history.
Oh yeah, exactly. And and I've even heard people say they poo-poo this Bitcoin. Oh, that's just the tulip bulbs, all that stuff. Yeah, okay. Well, all I gotta say is, I know for a fact that there are people down south of the border, Mexico, Central and South America, that look at Bitcoin just the same way as we would look at the U.S. dollar. It is true currency. You can buy and sell real estate in these countries.
You could buy and sell. You could buy empanadas on the beach.
Yeah, exactly. Using Bitcoin. I mean, I tell you the thing that's going on down there right now, and which I look at, and I love to see it here in this country, but I doubt it'll ever happen because it's too good of an idea. They have basically ATM machines where you can go to put in Bitcoin, either buy or sell Bitcoin. In other words, you can convert your Bitcoin into cash right there in ATM.
They got it here.
Oh, they got it here? Okay.
Yeah, you can do that. I mean, it's most of the Bitcoins are buy only, but they have Bitcoins. Now you got to give them your ID, and you make sure you pay Uncle Sam and all that.
Right.
Pay your taxes. But they got Bitcoin ATMs here.
Yeah, well, down there it's a little bit more anonymous than that. I think it's just basically like a PIN number, that kind of a thing. I don't think there's. Yeah, I think it's pretty.
They're getting your identification up here.
Oh, they are. Okay,
yeah.
I didn't realize it was that. I thought they were a little bit kinder. But
you know what? I mean, look, you make my message real clear here. We at Algo Factory always encourage you to make sure you're 100% compliant with the law.
Correct. Yeah, especially within wherever the country may be.
You got a lot of crypto people who's I don't want to pay my tax. Okay, well, good luck with that.
Yeah,
that's not how things work. You don't want to end up on the wrong side of that.
No, not at all. But what I love about this, I'm seeing this kind of development down, like I said, in this hemisphere, going on down there, and I'm just thinking the United States is dropping the ball. They're just dropping the ball. I mean, they're doing everything they can to try to hold off the inevitable. And it's just, I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's absolutely.
I can tell you, it's a little more complex than that, but the effect is what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, it's the drop in the ball. It's a lot of it is a function of just what things have been for 80 years, and it's a function of loyalties that have existed all this time, and it's a function of the United States cannot turn its back on certain people, and and it's unfortunate, but there will be a reckoning. There will be, and it's hopefully just going to be a financial reckoning.
Yeah, I hope so too. I
Well,
feel.
there's a reckoning right now. I mean, look at prices going up. I mean, the reckoning's happening. It's been happening.
Mhm. Oh yeah, I mean, hell, I paid $13 the other day for a jar of peanut butter.
Holy moly! What kind of peanut butter is it? Is it a golden jar of peanut
It
butter?
was Peter Pan. It was like a
Holy moly!
ounce bottle, jar of peanut butter. $13, buddy. Oh yeah, I looked at that and I thought, I mean, I decided to buy it just to say that I did, just to say that I actually bought a $13, bottle or jar of peanut butter. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, oh, okay, yeah, there's no inflation. Yeah, everything's working great, everything's fine, and it's all roses here. Everybody just keep your head in the sand. Yeah, make sure be getting that check, and all that good stuff. And what I feel sorry for are the people that depend on their social security to live on. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be cause panic or say the sky is falling, but you need to look at other options.
Look, there are people who will do something about it, and there are people who won't.
Yeah.
So now it doesn't mean that Algo Factory is the only answer, but when it comes to making money, the only way you're going to make money is by having work. And when everything's falling apart, there might not be work.
Yeah.
So I like to do something that I cannot get fired from.
Yeah.
But coming
exactly.
to do Algo Factory is not something that is just going to happen for you overnight. It takes work. It's like going to school. We have something like, I haven't done the math, but we probably have a good 30, 40 hours worth of class, something like that. I know we got some 50 some odd videos. Some are 10 minutes, some are 30 or 40.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's going to teach you the basics. Plus, we have a Telegram room that you're in, and I talked to you in there just yesterday, day before. And basically, we're in there all the time. A lot of times I'm up trading the European session. I answer questions all hours of the night sometimes. I mean, I got to sleep and I got a family and all that. But, we get to everything pretty quick. And so whatever isn't covered, trading's a big subject. If I was to actually create a video to cover the whole thing, there'd be thousands of videos. There's just so many different ways to trade. And so what we do is we give you the very basics. And then we have what's called the Beginner's Live Lab that is open to the public for 30 minutes every single day, Monday through Friday, that is. That's not a federal holiday. And so that starts at 8:30 EST. And you go over to the Algo Factory Twitter. You can find us on there. Go to the YouTube channel. That's actually on the YouTube channel. I don't broadcast on the Twitter yet. I will. I just haven't set that up. But long story short, you will see on that where you can get your basic questions answered. It's made for our newer members, right? And so, that being the case, the newer members can get those questions answered. And how do I say this? And then after that, for an hour, another additional hour, we have our private show where people can, who are in Algo Factory will have access on Telegram. And YouTube gets shut off. So, now you can watch the whole thing on Telegram. You don't have to go back and forth between YouTube and Telegram, but all the questions that you may have are answered. And then what I do is people are now, a lot of them are at the point where they're building and perfecting their algorithms and they get maybe 20, 50 tests in. Mm-hmm. And they ask, hey, can you help me refine this? Can you help me, squeeze some more profit out of this? And I'll actually take a look at their algorithm. And most of the time I end up simplifying them. Most of the time I end up actually taking things away because it's a very big temptation that more is better. So I got 19 indicators and it's like, nah, man, so I'll help them make things usually simplify and pull some more profit out of it.
Oh, so in other words, not only are you guys teaching people how to build their own algorithms, once they build them, you can actually look at them and help them tweak it to make it even better.
That is correct, because our algos are built on trading view. So when you have an algorithm, it's just throwing together indicators and then testing them on the trading view platform. So what they can do is they can copy that and send me a copy of that chart. And then live, what I'll do is I will take a look at that live and I will say, okay, well, here's your problem here, here's your problem there. Half the time, the problem is that people are not applying the teachings properly. The other half of the time, they're not doing the same kind of testing every time. They're not applying the scientific method properly. The other half of the time, they just need some help with their indicators.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and another thing too I love about this is when V comes on there with you. It's like that special little bonus. And I'm not going to give away a lot here, but they have a thing called the drips, and basically what it is V, because of his connections, he's able to give people the thoughts of what's going on behind the scenes or with the big guys. Am I right in saying that or no?
Yeah, no. So, what do you, we have? It's called drips. We were supposed to have one today, but unfortunately, V was not able to make it. He had personal matter to handle. But V the Gorilla, who is my business partner, he basically he does very large deals, cryptocurrency, precious metals, and he does them around the world. And he deals with billionaires, and he's got some pretty high level people that he's contacted. And he's commandeered some of the like 5 of the biggest dark pools of Bitcoin. So basically, what that means is if you want to do a very large transaction, chances are whether you get it from him, it's going through him. It's going through his network anyway. So anyway, the point is that when you do deals that big in crypto and precious metals, he's been in metals for 20 years. Strategic metals, precious metals, that's his background. He's been doing that. And I've done some deals with him. And long story short, when you deal with those kind of people, then you find out what's going on. You hear ahead of time from people who are the billionaire types. They're in the know half the time, at least half the time. So, I've been talking, look, I've been following V since 2016, and I've been working with him since 2017. And I can tell you he's about 80% correct 80% of the time. And that's better than you can ever ask for. So he'll come in there and he'll let us know what's happening, whether it has to do with, something in the Middle East, or whether it has to do with something in finance, or what's really pertinent to the financial markets and the geopolitical. He'll come in there and say, hey, this is the word. Now, he's not telling anything he cannot tell us, but it's not a privileged enough information or he's breaking any laws or rules, but it's privileged enough to where he can only tell a few people. So if you're with Algo Factory, you hear about 3 or 4 times a month. I know last week was monumental. I think you heard that show last week, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, and again, that's just one of the benefits of Algo Factory. And again, I think I've subscribed to you from the very beginning, and I've been looking at the stuff and going through it, and you know, I, I maybe it's just me, but I don't know if I have the patience or the mental capability of doing it. I think mentally I could do it, but like I said, it's sort of a time thing. And I was looking for somebody, trying to, help me kind of make a few leaps here to be ahead of the game where I could shorten the time in perfecting my own personal algorithm. And luckily, through a couple of things here, I met this guy. Just happened, to be a computer scientist, and just happened to have an economics degree, and is also designed, trading algorithms on his own in the past. And so I thought this just be a perfect opportunity to put the show together to kind of introduce this idea. But unfortunately, due to technical difficulty, the other part of the scenario could not make it, or did make it, but couldn't stay on the air for more than 3 minutes.
Yeah,
But
right.
yeah, exactly. Again, Cowboy, I appreciate you coming on the air, and I really do. I know your time's valuable, especially now that you're playing Papa. And
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, by the way, I want to publicly congratulate you, man, because I think there was something. I hope I don't screw this up, but they said you see an angel because they'll have the faces of your children.
Oh, that's just lovely, and it's absolutely the case. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
you might be able to hear one of them crying in the background last few minutes.
Oh yeah. Well, I tell you, I went trick or treating with my little 2.5-year-old granddaughter and her mother, and we were just walking down the this quiet street, to see, for her to do her little thing. And I was holding one hand, and my daughter was holding the other hand. And I'm going to tell you, that was the greatest. That was probably one of the greatest moments of my life.
That's special, man. I love to hear stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm telling you. That's what children are. They truly are. And people, I tell you, the greatest days of my life were the days my daughter and my granddaughter were born. And I just, and I know how you feel, buddy. It's a good feeling.
Yeah, no, those are my favorite days too. Very, very special times right there.
Yeah.
So
And
that's
so,
I have a 21-month-old son, and I've got now what is this? Going on a 7-week-old daughter.
mm, mm. Yeah, and I tell you, it's just it's really phenomenal there. But again, I want to congratulate you, and like I said, they couldn't ask for a better dad.
Well, that's a hell of a nice thing for you to say. I appreciate that.
Yeah. All right, my friend. Well, anyway, on that note, if there's anything else you want to say, yeah, let's go ahead and tell everybody about Algo Factory one more time here, and then I think that we'll call it a day.
Sure. And now you have your own code, so I'm sure you throw that link down in the description. But the website is www.algofactory.tech. That's algofactory.tech. And if you go to our website, and again, there's going to be a link in the description. Make sure you use that link if you're going to sign up, please. That goes through Dr. Mulder here. And then you'll be able to see our socials on there. If you go to that website, to contact us, you see, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, all that. Come visit us, please. We have free content out, the wazoo. We're on every single day. And even if you are not a member, you can come onto YouTube and ask questions, and I will answer them from a technical standpoint as best I can. So, come and do that, and we hope to see you there.
Oh, fantastic, my friend. Well, once again, great show. Like I said, Dr. John, apparently he's having some technical difficulty, and what more from a computer scientist to have problems with IT. So
yeah, right. Yep.
Exactly. All right. Well, anyway, once again, thank you so much for your time there, buddy, and we'll call it a day.
All right. Hey, it's good talking with you.
All right. Just hang on just 1 second after I sign off, please.
No problem.